both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is, and death is, but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate. Instead, willingly and respectfully embrace it.
The embodiment of strife telling me about the majesty of the world.
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table at the end of the road and humbly await your arrival. When that moment finally comes, let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Polixia. I'm here. What? This...
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this... Polixia's sister? Is it... me? Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head-on.
Even if it was prophesied, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death's sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you.
Well then, tell me. What exactly are we?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, in the prophesied new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the nether realm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. As for the price of our equivalent exchange, let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world. Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new Titans at the world's end, thereby shaping a new world?
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova as mentioned in the prophecy.
This is utterly unbelievable. Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town, the birthplace of alchemy in the tale of the dragon? In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
The Nusporist masterpiece, the Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sage's wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation. Remember, I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Castoris. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest of them all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, Does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that you all have created.
That's a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaya, please, let me explain.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kindness desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kindness. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mrs. Soul.
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts. Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, it's not hard to see its former splendor. Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Casterus and meet the god of death himself. Casterus, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Flame Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aglaya.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Treby is probably...
The answer is quite simple. In the myths, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the Netherrealm as they pleased. And if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Memorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
Is the debate finally over? Did you win? Really? But the look on your face says otherwise. Well, moving on. I was hard at work even while you were at the debate. I borrowed a mountain of books from Cass to see if I could find a way to solve your problem. Let's see. I still have only 32 books to go. Really? Oh, that's fantastic news. I knew it. Hard work always pays off. Especially if you're as diligent as Ma'am. I feel like a huge burden has finally been lifted off my shoulders. Why are my eyelids so heavy all of a sudden? You're right. Then I'll go back to... Cass? What a surprise.
Lady Treeby.
Is something troubling you?
I just wanted to speak to Lady Trian for a bit before I set off. No matter how breathtakingly beautiful Styxia once was, the place is now the domain of the departed. There is no telling what we'll encounter there. I don't want to have any regrets.
Has anyone told you that your eyes are sparkling today?
Is that a figure of speech?
In the past, when you did smile once in a while, all of us could see that your heart remained troubled even as you smiled.
Lady Treeby, you know perfectly well that see you tomorrow is nothing but a white lie. I hope your toughness is not a mask hiding a lonely heart.
Cass, you hardly ever talked of your past. None of us knows what you went through, apart from Maggie. But we know it must have been filled with pain and hardships, as it is the fate every Chrysosaur is destined to live out. We are just happy for you that the core flame you're meant to inherit has finally surfaced.
Isn't it a little too soon to say that?
But you already know where tomorrow is, don't you? There's no need to rely on anyone else. Just give it your all and leave no regrets. We have always believed that your embrace is just as warm as everyone else's. Because we embrace others to comfort them. And Cass, you're the kindest Chrysosaur we know.
Thank you, Lady Treby. This feeling... it's hard to put into words. I suddenly found myself with so many wishes. So much I want to accomplish before setting off.
Then go do it, Cass. Trian was actually working on a surprise gift for you. It's a pity she didn't get to finish it. But now Trinan and I are working on it, and we'll make sure to give it to you. So, let's meet back here when you return from Styxia. Safe travels. See you tomorrow! It's me. I hope I didn't wake you. Huh? No. No. I'm here because of private matters, actually. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd really like it if you could come along with me to retrieve something. Aren't you going to ask me what it is? It isn't a long way from here. Shall we?
Have you heard? Seems like
The streets are packed.
I want to vote! Tell me how I can vote!
Take your ceramic shard, engraved with the Kefali rune, select the Council of Elders in your heart, and pray silently until the shard registers your choice. Then toss it into the Dolium.
The Council of Elders? More like the Council of Buffoons! The Black Tide took my hometown long ago! Who are they kidding with bringing back Erechrysia? It's all a sham to create their own Erechrysia in Akama!
The Titans are just. So long as we do not overstep our bounds again, we will not incur divine wrath.
Oh, please. The time when these deranged Titans should have vacated their spot to the demigods is long overdue. You'll see soon enough, you old bogey.
And I pray that Talanton smacks some sense into you with their scales. We shall see how this turns out.
That was quite a spectacle. I suppose peaceful is technically correct if no actual violence happened. To this day, I still find it almost unreal that Akama is the only place illuminated by light amidst the crumbling ruins of Emporius. and its people are even holding votes to reconcile differing opinions. This peaceful sight is making me forget that this is the end times. Before coming here, I had lived for many years in Idonia, a city of rime and frost. The people there were devotees of Thanatos, and were well known for their unique burial rites and traditions. Traditions that I played a major role in. Yes. You now know me as the Mortician of Akama. But back in those days, I was Idonia's Maiden of War. I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. They saw the curse in me as a blessing from Thanatos, and believed that my hands could correct the Aracrisia's mistake and lead them to meet the great god of death. They provided me shelter, but in return, I was expected to grant merciful deaths to war captives, prisoners bound for execution, and heroes alike. Is that how you see it too? But no matter how kind or cruel the means, nothing can change the essence of death. Taking away someone's life is never worthy of religious worship. I can't do it. Their voices, they pierce my ears. The pleading, the thanks.
I know that feeling, child. I was once as lost as you are now. But you must respect those walking towards death, just like how you should respect yourself as the Holy Maiden granting humans glory and liberation.
What you're asking me to do is no better than the task of an executioner, and yet you want me to respect myself. No matter the titles, I am still taking away human lives.
This won't be the first time that Adonia's fanatical nether warriors have faced death. On the contrary, recruits new to the battlefield often run away from their first fight. Death is the mightiest and gravest power in this world. The fact that you can wield it means you are deserving of respect.
That's such a twisted reason.
Then let me tell you a story. In Idonia, the great swords commonly used by executioners are called Draconian, in memory of Drakon, an elderly executioner. The sword has 3 air holes along its body. If the sword is swung down swiftly and accurately, the holes would make no sound, and the executed would also depart this world quickly and painlessly. But should the executioner have any hesitation, the holes would produce a piercing whistle. On that cue, the screams of the executed are sure to follow. Every executioner after Dracon is to hone their sword skills every day in preparation of future executions. Every swing of their blade must be more resolute than the last, for failing to do so will bring pain. Pain for the dying, as well as pain for themselves.
No. I can never get used to this.
You misunderstand, child. I am not telling you to get used to it. I'm asking you to consider the source of the dead's suffering and use that knowledge to fortify your future touches with more and more determination. Go, walk with the dead and love them as you love life. Then you'll no longer hear those noises.
Please! Don't kill me! I don't want to die! No!
May you gain some insights through his sacrifice.
Is this all?
No. Come with me. This is just the beginning of your life as the Maiden of War.
You executioner!
Do it then, executioner.
You heard him.
I curse you. Why? To live in eternal pain.
Please. When will this ever end?
You murderer!
trying to do with me?
I have aged. The time has come for me to heed the summons of Thanatos and journey to their domain. The final resting place of every Idonian.
You're not that old yet. You still have many, many years ahead of you.
No. I'm already dead. For I have come to fear my declining health and impending death. Ah, Castoris. Will you give me one last chance to charge towards fear and prove that I am no coward?
I can't take this anymore!
Child, it was I who brought you here from the frosty plains and set your farcical fate in motion. It was also I, Chief Executioner of Idonia, who forced the heavy duty of executing others onto you. I've always known that you have doubts and even anger about my faith and about me.
I never had a choice.
Indeed. We essentially abducted you. Yet you can end any sinful life with just a touch of your fingers. Shouldn't it be easy for you to escape from here?
I'll never do that. It doesn't matter how lightly the Idonians take death, or how readily they accept it. I simply can't do it.
I knew I was right about you.
What do you mean?
I've taught you and cared for you as my own daughter all this time because of this blessing that's been with you since your birth. I know no one else in the world would understand the weight of life and death more than you do. In the eyes of an Idonian, death is the end of all life. A destination we will all eventually reach. Humans should not resist it, but learn how to face it. You can only live your life to the fullest after understanding this principle. And when you do, even if you eventually leave Idonia's protection, even if you must carry the curse forever, you can live with your head held high, like everyone else.
No! How can I?
Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden, or at least that you possess the resolve to become one. Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden, or at least that you possess the resolve to become one.
A new life. Turn it up! May death protect us! Keep up! I feel that swing! Let me go! We'll tear. This was the last time I followed her command. I gently touched the elderly woman before me. The executioner, who had seen too much death, died the same way as everyone else. A gasp for air, a wistful look in her eyes, and a barely perceptible tremor in her fingertips. Elder Amunet, the person who tried to teach me about death, ultimately vanished like dew in the morning mist. She spent her life embodying the beliefs of the Idonians, and when death finally came, she embraced it exactly as their doctrine had taught. I have nothing but respect for her. I erected a cenotaph in her honor in the marshes outside Idonia's city walls with the others I had laid to rest. Then, I set out once more in search of Thanatos. It was a long, long journey. I heard so many discussions about death along the way. Life finds meaning in death. The world improves because there is an end. It seems the most terrible darkness in this world. Everyone talks about its heavy weight. Some resist it, some worship it, and some even revere it. How did a disappeared Titan become the deepest fear of humankind? And why do they